Hi guys, welcome to my kitchen. Today I am going to show you something that I think is invaluable if you are going to be an exceptional home cook, and that is how to make a roux. So a roux is equal parts fat and flour, and it's used to thicken sauces and gravies and soups and stews, but it's also the basis for gravies and sauces. So you can use this in a lot of different things. There are several different types of roux that you can make as far as like a dark roux versus a light roux. A dark roux is used more for flavor and less for thickening, whereas a light roux is used more for thickening and the basis of a sauce. That's what I'm going to show you how to make today, a light or a blonde roux. So it's very, very simple, honestly. To get started, I'm going to put my heat on like a medium to medium high heat. I am going to use 4 tablespoons of unsalted butter. Now, the interesting thing about roux is that you can use pretty much any fat that you want to make it. So you could make this with olive oil, you could make this with chicken fat, you could make it with bacon grease, pretty much any oil. It's just the same amount of fat that you're using to the same amount of flour. Now, if you are using something like bacon grease or chicken fat that isn't obviously in a little tablespoon that you can measure out easily, you can do it by weight. So if you have a kitchen scale, you can do it by weight. If you don't have a kitchen scale, you can just use any spoon that you have and just measure it out spoonful for spoonful. So I melt my butter a little bit before I put my flour in, just to give us a little base. And then I usually don't melt it all the way. I don't know why I do it this way. You can melt the butter all the way. Just make sure you're using the same amount of flour to butter. And then you just stir that around. And what this is doing is it's cooking out the raw flour flavor. So you would never want to put just raw flour into a soup or a stew or a sauce to thicken it, because you would be able to taste it and it wouldn't taste good. But a roux is going to be your basis for that. Now, if you're using this just on a small scale, if you're making a small sauce, you could just do about 2 tablespoons. But because I need this to be a fairly larger sauce tonight, I used 4 tablespoons. Now, that is really it. If I was trying to make a dark roux, I would let this keep cooking until it got really nice and dark, and like the butter would get more browned and give you that nice nutty flavor. But this is it. That's going to be the basis for my sauce tonight. It's that simple. It takes 2 minutes or less to make this, and this is going to be the basis for so much stuff that you do in the kitchen. So I hope that you try this out if you haven't yet. Stay tuned, because this weekend I'm going to show you how I am using this tonight.